Salute to letterman PSA Podcast. I do want to say this vlog right here is about his interview on PSA. Letterman's interview on PSA with Norbes. I want to say out the gate, this in no way am I trying to disrespect or diss Dre. I actually just hit him up on Twitter and told him like, hey, I'm gonna do this blog, and I ain't trying to diss you, but I'm gonna say how I feel about the interview, man. Like I already told Dre, I'm not gonna go into my conversation with him, but I just said, I did feel like Dre wasn't a little harder on him. Pause. Wasn't more maybe stern. Stern. That's the word I used actually. I felt he should have been a little more stern with him. But Dre did a very good job of asking certain questions that we all want to know. It was a good job of him to put Norbes in a situation where he had to at least say something. If you listen to the interview and you go to the 19-minute and 45-second mark up to about the 20-minute, 20-second mark, Norbes, you go into a whole situation where you start talking about, which no one asked you. No one asked you. And you felt the need to volunteer that you know what these guys are getting paid. And these guys are paying, these guys are doing battles just to be able to pay their phone bill. Like, why would you feel the need to even mention that? Why would you feel the need to even, to me, that was like you was trying to play them. Like you was trying to disrespect them. And I don't understand, like, what did you get out of saying something like that? And if that's the case, then why you keep trying to get dudes, especially dudes with names, to come and do a PG for your platform and get upset if they say no? At the end of the day, when it comes to all of them, including the PG, you could get them a little something. But to the point where you want to get onto the radio thing, onto the PSA podcast, and make jokes that these guys are barely making enough money for them to pay their phone bills. They're battling to pay their phone bills. That ain't a smack in the face. That's not you smacking them in the face, disrespecting them. How are they supposed to feel? I know how I felt hearing you say. When you said that, I cringed, man. I was like, yo, I know this ain't a guy who's part of what's supposed to be the biggest league in battle rap, or the most respected league in battle rap, and this is the type of shit he's saying, and then wonder why people feel a way about him. That was messed up. I'm surprised that other battle rappers so far haven't, in some shape or form or fashion, voiced their opinion about hearing you even saying that, whether you mention their name or not. Like, that shit ain't cool, man. That was very unnecessary. If that's the case, then they should be on your neck even more about getting paid. And when y'all feel someone is asking for too much money for a battle, now I understand even why. If I'm most of these battle rappers, after I heard you say that shit, my price just went up. I'm on the phone with other guys. I'm getting on the phone like, yo, man, listen, y'all need to hear what this man just said. We need to come together as a unit and be like, man, now we all want more. That was very unnecessary, Norbes. That was unnecessary. I ain't see what was the point of you saying that. Again, if y'all think I'm bullshitting, go listen to the interview. I'll actually put it in the description box, and you can the link. You can hear it for yourself and hear that man say that shit. That's disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful, man. There's one particular thing I want to talk about, but before I get to that, I want to say this. The question of Oxxymiron came up. Dre, smart, asked him about how he felt about that, about King and the Dot doing that, and if URL felt they had to respond. Now, Norbes also brought up a Philippine battle rapper who I'm aware of because let's just say, just an example, I want to say maybe like 5 years ago, Swave Sever battled him. If I'm not mistaken, that is the same guy. Swave Sever battled him, I think, on like some stadium type shit. Which is another thing, like when people were telling me, Disaster, King and the Dot, the first ones to go outside of America and get somebody that's not true. They might be the first one to bring the dude over here to America. But in the conversation, in the context that I was having with people, they were trying to say no one's ever done something like that. Like bring a foreigner and or let me say have a guy like Disaster of New York. Not, oh no, I'm fucking fumbling. New York guy being Swave 7 was able to go over there and battle. And American like Disaster getting the opportunity to battle Oxxymiron. I've never said, I've given credit. I don't like Disaster. I've said that plenty of times. And for other reasons besides battle. You know what I'm saying? But I will not discredit the accomplishment and how dope that was. You know what I'm saying? Nor would I ever discredit him. Like, the man is in the movie now. He's doing his thing. Whatever. On a personal level, I do not like that dude. So at the end of the day, Swave was the first one I've ever seen do that. Now, am I saying Swave was the first one? I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's the first one I was aware of. And that was years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Swave choked in that battle. I believe so. Anyway, so Dre, and salute again to him for that, brings up to Norbes and says, you know, what you think about that, so on and so forth, and do you guys think you have to come into a response to that? Norbes' answers didn't make no sense. Didn't make any sense. The only part about his answer that makes sense was him saying, hey, you know, would you want to see any of them dudes? Like, would that people from that country want to see Oxxymiron on a card with a T-top and things of this nature? He's right. The majority of them aren't going to want to see that, especially if they don't speak English. He's right in that aspect. He's also right in the aspect of saying, hey, man, I don't care what they did. We don't feel we got to respond to that move. Yo, real talk, I agree with him on that. Like, you don't have to have a response to that move. You don't. Because certain things fit. Of course, if that whole move right there fits so much better with King of the Dot. And I said this in my blog when I spoke about that battle. It make the world sense for them. Because world domination being the title and then having a guy from Russia come down. Yes, that makes the world of sense. You know, everything about it. The KOTD fan base is also based in Canada and things like this. Not that the URL has fans throughout the world. I'm not saying that. I'm saying KOTD's style. Like, they've had so many guys from different backgrounds over there. Like, it makes sense. So I agree with Norbes. Like, there's no pressure to have a responding move to that. Like, no, that was all people jumping to conclusions. No, man. And I'm happy to see that URL didn't. At this point, I don't know what they got planned. They ain't feel that they need to have to jump the gun to make a move to respond to that. You know what I'm saying? So my issue with what he said is when he was like, oh, there's no point in doing that. And he went along those lines of saying there is no point in doing that. Like, why would I want to do that? That don't make sense. It makes the world of sense. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not suggesting that URL go and do something like this. I'm just saying when it's noise, I understand you trying to downplay it. I understand, you know, what you're trying to do. You don't want people to think that you feel like you have to make a responding move. Or maybe you don't feel that way. And let's be clear, I know Norbes don't care not 2 cents about what I'm saying right now. But I felt the need for it to be said. For you to say that move wouldn't make sense and that you wouldn't book him, I don't believe that shit for 1 second. And let me tell you why. Number one, the fact that he did it for free, they just paid, allegedly all they had to pay was his traveling fees, which was $2,000. Who's not doing that? Who's not doing it? Then you saying, oh, it don't matter if we get 40 million views from that, we don't benefit for that. How wouldn't you benefit for that? Because I understand you saying in large scale, yeah, the dude might do a crazy number of views. But let's be real here. The last I checked that battle was around 8 million views or past 8 million views, which is a hell of a lot, right? Maybe tripling or quadrupling the highest view battle King of the Dot has ever had. I don't know that to be facts. I'm saying that's what it's looking like, right? I know it's definitely double, but it might be triple or quadruple. So now, let's just say this. That guy over there averages 20 million views. Averages 20 million views. The reason why they haven't hit 20 million, or they might not hit that 40 million plateau, is because everybody who's a fan of his doesn't speak English. You're right. But you mean to tell me your highest views for the URL is probably 3 million? Let's say it's more. It still will be double, my man. And guess what? Those are the English-speaking ones who actually are watching it. So yeah, let's just say you don't get a big amount of money anymore off YouTube. All right, that's understandable. I get that part. But for them to see, you mean to tell me them views just for people to see that and potentially gain more of a fan base, that don't count for nothing? You mean to tell me them $2,000 that you would spend on his travel fees wouldn't it be worth that? You said it yourself. Oh, what? It would be a bunch of Russian people coming to the venue? Yeah. Let's not act like the URL hasn't had sold out events before. And I am not dissing the URL. I'm saying let's make sense when we talking here. You mean to tell me a guy who can sell out a venue on his own, and in fact, if you was to book this guy, you would have to get a bigger venue than you normally get. You mean to tell me, especially here in New York, it wouldn't make sense to book a guy for $2,000 knowing good and damn well you're going to pack a venue? You're going to make that back and some. And guess what? They come, they enjoy the event, like I've had going to events, you know, they go and enjoy it, and guess what? Now they can't wait for the next one. Not to mention, you're giving your guys on the cards opportunities to be seen places in other countries. The nerve of you that whole $2,000 shit. Because even more so, which this is my main thing I want to talk about, but I'm going to get to that. Look at your whole PG situation and your PG rules, as you said. Or your process. Let's keep it real, Norbes. Let's keep it real. You paying $2,000 to bring that man here, even if you put one of your PG guys up against him. That ain't a good look for them. And guess what? You paying that man $2,000 for all the viewership he's going to bring, the sponsors he's going to bring, You mean to tell me that ain't some PG type shit? Come on, Norbes. That's my frustration. Because I'm sitting here, and Norbes even said it in this, where he made a comment about people not liking him, or people always looking at him as a bad guy. One of the two. This ain't one of them. This ain't one of the reasons why somebody would do that when they hear you say shit like this. I used to throw events for up and coming music artists in the New York area, New York tri-state area. And one thing I always tell them, and I think I said this in one of my vlogs, but whatever. Every opportunity you get to perform, every opportunity you get to go to venues, events, things of this nature, is an opportunity for you to make an impression on at least one person. That's it. At least one. But it isn't as easy to do. So you mean to tell me you go book what might be the biggest attraction that you've ever had to URL, and you wouldn't do it because you don't think that whole fans base is going to transfer over? It doesn't matter if the guy averages 20 million views. If you bring 1 or 2 million people who really after that are going to continue to patronize your product, my man, that ain't worth it. Because if that's the case, what you do to be PGs for? It's not a big event, but you charge people to go to that, but you don't pay the battle rappers, right? So I don't get that, man. I don't get that. You know, I can fully understand him saying, yo, we don't feel the need to make a move to respond to that. Salute. He is correct. He is 100% correct. They don't need to do that. There's no need for no panic and none of that type of shit. No, man. King of the Dot made an excellent move, and they have capitalized off it in every fashion. Even allegedly, they got paid a hefty sum of money from that bingo bongo, whatever it was, people who advertised with them. So now, in general, letterman, Dre asked him about the whole disaster, saying fuck KOTD. And Norbes' response, I'm with Norbes on. When Norbes is like, hey, that man said that. That's the way that man feel. I don't feel that way. I thought that was so dope of Norbes to make sure that he stated, I don't feel that way. He could have easily said, hey man, that's that man. That man said that. No, he took it a step further, said, hey man, I don't feel that way. I think that's dope of Norbes. I think that's something that it should be said a little bit more between the URL and the King of the Dot. I think it does need to be, like, I've said this in other blogs where I say we gotta celebrate battle rap. We gotta celebrate it. And I feel like me going to RBE events, me going to Trap New York events, whenever you see guys from other leagues there to show support, when I'm in Writers Volume 1, check out my recap for that too. I messed around with that vlog a little bit, added a little comedy to it. When I'm there and I seen John there with guys from Bullpen, I was happy to see that, man. I thought that was so dope, like, just to be able to come there and show love, and to see ARP over at the Bullpen, the Fade 2 event. B Magic has said here, I did an interview with B Magic where he said you just see ARP at all King of the Dot events, all kind of events he used to see him. Like, to be able to show that kind of love is dope. So when I hear Norbes sit there and make it clear, hey man, I don't feel that way, that's dope. My problem is this. Right after that question, letterman sit here and asked Norbes, how do you feel about Disaster saying URL has done more for him than King of the Dot has ever done? And Norbes is acting like that statement is too far-fetched. But wouldn't give an example that made sense about how that is true. He wanted Dre to sit here and prove his case on why that isn't true. His response for Disaster saying that is, well, if you look at Disaster's bigger battles, they were against URL guys. Tell me, how does that make sense? If them battles were not on URL, how are you taking credit for that? How are you taking credit for that? How are you co-signing what this dude does when clearly, if Disaster gets the opportunity and it's something you do he don't like, he get on his emotional shit and go on rants about it. You don't think you will be next, Norbes? You don't think your brand that you're a part of is next? Should he feel away? How are you the exception? Because you saying y'all been cool for crazy years? What does that have to do with anything? That don't have nothing to do with anything. You can't take credit for Cortez or any one of them going over there to King of the Dot and battling Disaster. And took credit. In this interview, you're taking credit for it as in, yeah, it's true, URL has done a lot for him. No, the hell it hasn't. Because he battled guys who was on your league. That don't even make sense. Because tell me why he ain't do so great when he actually came to URL. When he battled Rex. Tell me that. That don't make any sense, my man. For you to sit there and try to take credit for that. Oh, those are smack rappers. So yeah. No, my man. They were not on your card. They were not promoted by you. They were not on your pay-per-view. None of that shit. Who paid them? Not you. How are you taking credit for that? And how are you going to sit there and get that man out to be able to say, he sat there and just shitted on people, whether he had a right to be upset or not. He still should not have in public went out there and went in on King of the Dot. And then you sit in this interview, he always wanted to be a smack rapper. He always wanted to, for years, he's always been wanting. Yo, my man, you don't see this man always wanting acceptance from our community, so to speak. He didn't always want acceptance from the streets, so to speak. Clown shit he do. So let me ask you a question. Why are you justifying him shitting on people who've been holding him down for years? And him saying URL done more for him. I would have respected it more if Norbes would have came out and said, there's stuff that's happened behind the scenes that we can't talk about. Or say, you guys don't know what happened behind the scenes. That's it. Don't sit there and use rappers who performed on your platform and went over there to perform and sit there and be like, oh, that's us doing stuff for him. How? That don't make any sense. And again, if he did that to them, you don't think he would do the same shit to you? You don't think he wouldn't shit on you real quick the moment you piss him off? Now I'm getting into the main thing that I've been wanting to get into, man. As I said on here, I don't really, and you watch my other blogs, I've spoken on this. I don't really watch other bloggers, battle rap media. At the beginning, I didn't like Battle Truth, and that was based off him going on Angry Fan and putting out there a private conversation that he had with Letterman of PSA Podcast. And again, like I've stated before, Battle Truth went on PSA. I had seen before Dre tweeting out saying that him and Battle Truth spoke and they good. And then there was a few guys on who I talk on Twitter, Battle Rap. Follow me, by the way, at JLegend100. And the guys was telling me, and Battle Truth is a funny guy, an entertaining guy. So I went and I checked out a few of his blogs. I actually like Battle Truth's blogs. I like his blogs. I like how he mixes in his personality, which is something that I always want to do on these blogs, but I just felt like I do it on my other podcast, J Legend Effect, and I'll put the description. I'll put a episode in the description so you guys can check out my other podcast. I felt like it might be too much for you guys. I don't know how you guys would really feel like, you know what I mean? But like I've said in my last blog, and as you're gonna see on this one, I put a few things on there to show my personality. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the point. What was the point? Battle Truth is always on Norbes' neck and the URL's neck about the PG process. I don't always agree with Battle Truth, just like I don't always agree with other battle rap other people's opinions on battle rap. That's the point of it being opinion. Everybody got a different point of view, whatever the case. But one thing I agree with Battle Truth is when he goes in depth about the whole PG situation and how he gets treated. So now I also addressed the Rome DMV situation where he put out a blog talking about PG Elite, where he was naming names of guys like the Thesaurus and so on and so forth, on how they should have to do a PG too. Listen, man, get out of here with that shit. Dre talked to him about the PG thing, but like I said, Battle Truth is always going at Norbes and them about it. They just don't ever, I guess, get on the phone with him. I don't know, right? What he's saying is the truth. You sitting here throwing events, albeit small events for PG classes. You're charging people to come in and out them doors. And I know what the defense of that is going to be. Norbes is going to sit there and say, well, we have to pay for the venue. Let's not act like you never profited off that before. And let's not act like you wasn't profiting off of PG views on YouTube before YouTube started doing the shit they doing as far as money is concerned. I find it crazy that Norbes would defend Loso and a few other battle rappers having to do a PG. Dre asked him about that, especially when it came to Loso. And he went to this whole thing on how he's cool with Loso, they're friends, how Loso called him when King of the Dot wanted to book him, and things of this nature, right? So at the end of the day, you're mentioning that he's been to King of the Dot. We all recognize what he's been doing at the bullpen. And while you might have a point when you sit there and say, some of the views he got are based off who he battled. I can understand that in the beginning, but no. People are asking for Loso. King of the Dot would have never reached out to him if that wasn't the case. People are asking for him. Bullpen, with their pay-per-view, you mean telling me Loso versus B-Dot, the two guys you feel should have to do a PG, you mean to tell me that the big selling point wasn't that battle? Now, yeah, Chilla Jones did battle John on that card. And I'm not sitting here saying that ain't sell the thing. I'm saying let's be real. The battle everybody want to see was Loso versus B-Dot. You mean to tell me that right there ain't enough for either one of those guys to get on URL without having to do a PG? You mean to tell me all these other guys who go out there and make big names for themselves somewhere else should have to do a PG? Then you're going to defend it by saying, oh, that's just the process. Oh, we'll see if Loso does good. If he does good on there, let's see. What are you talking about if he does good? You haven't seen proof already of what this guy can be? You sit there yourself and say how good he is and all this and all that. Let's be real, though. You're sitting here, you want these guys to go and do a PG because you don't want to have to pay them. You don't want to have to pay them. Guys like a B-Dot, guys like a Loso, a Show Off, all these guys, like they've been putting in work everywhere else where people want to see them. Especially right now, more Loso and B-Dot. You mean to tell me you're not going to sell some tickets off of that? You ain't going to sell some pay-per-views off of that? You mean to tell me having B-Dot on your league right now and paying him a few dollars ain't going to help you with people buying pay-per-views from the West Coast? You might not gain a few fans who wouldn't otherwise watch. So I understand why Battle Truth be on your neck. Because it's like you want to sit there and drain everybody of their talent and do all this just for your benefit. And that's foul. Rome said, and I addressed it in that, I'll put it in the description box. Check it out. When I addressed the shit that Rome was saying. Rome even said he thought the Soros and them should have to do a PG. Out your mind. Out your mind. It's disrespectful, man. These guys are coming with a fan base already. And we're not talking about these guys bringing their cousins and their aunts and shit to a battle. Come on, my man. You mean to tell me right here, right now, you couldn't put a Loso versus somebody and a B-Dot versus somebody on a Born Legacy card and it wouldn't sell? Right here, right now. Does their opponents matter? Yes, it matters. But you mean to tell me putting them guys on a card, you get them some money, you mean to tell me you're not getting your investment back on that card? Or you just trying to take advantage? Because if you put them on a PG card, I bet you pack that venue because they own that card. I bet you that. And that's why I say, man, I can understand Battle Truth being at your neck all the time when it comes to this. Because this is foul. To get back to the disaster thing. You was over there disrespecting. You were flat out. To me, it was flat out. Other people might look at it and be like, oh, no, he was. No, you was flat out saying that King of the Dot is like a minor league. You went as far as to say, like, the only people who matter was really like the smack rappers who went over there. You had the audacity to say you ain't know that Elmac ever battled Pat Stay? Don't you have a radio show, a battle rap radio show that you've had for years? Aren't you a part of URL? You running the PGs, Talent Scout, whatever is your title, co-owner, I don't know. So you're going to sit here with a straight face and tell me you never knew Elmac battle Past Day. You're basically disrespecting the both of them with that. And them dudes are legends. They have put in the work. And they come with a huge fan base, my man. What are you talking about? I'll even issue this challenge. Put up these guys Put up a Chess. Put up a NJT or any of them DMV dudes. Put any of them up. Put up a Mike P. You got a bunch of other bigger names. Put up a Shotgun Suge. Put any one of them dudes up against an Ilmac or a Pat Stay. Let's not act like that won't sell. Let's not act like that's not worthy. And let's not act like both them guys aren't capable of beating guys on URL. Ilmac alone will clear out the majority of the roster, especially your newer guys. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop the nonsense. I was just at the Pearly Gates event, JC versus Ilmac. My man, crazy. One of those rounds right there, which one of your guys you really think, especially the up-and-coming guys, could have stood up to one of them rounds like that? Stop it. I'll stop it. And I feel like you throwing wild subs and you're trying to find a way to deflect and defend that whole disaster thing and the things you do with the PGs, because the fact that you got a radio show, Norbes, and the fact that you've been around battle rap so long, I highly doubt that you really didn't know these things. Especially not knowing, oh, I ain't know they battled this, I ain't even know they battled. Stop the shit. Stop the shit. Come on, man. You a dude in a position of power, and like Battle Truth has said, you in a situation where you can change some of these young boys' lives. How many PGs have you done where guys even paid to be able to go on the PG? Paid you to go host shows. Paid you to probably be on your PG card. And how many of them have you still never released their footage? Still never released their footage. Never. I don't know, man. I don't know. And to act like, because let me tell you something, because Rome said that dumb shit, man, about some of these guys doing PGs. You will be out your damn mind and even sit there and ask a Paste or Ilmac on them and sit there and tell them, oh, you got to do a PG. Is that what you... If Ilmac holler at you right now and say, man, you know what? I'll do a battle at URL. Are you going to sit there with a straight face and tell him, well, you know the process. You got to do a PG. If Pat Stay called you up right now and said, Joe, what's up, man? Let me battle one of the guys you got over there. You mean to tell me you really gonna sit here and tell that man? Well, you know the process. You know how this works. You gotta do a PG first. You gotta do a free battle first. You gotta sell out my little event, and you gotta do all that before you can get $1 from us to be on the main stage. Even though you've been doing this shit over there at King of the Dot. Come on, man. Norbes. This is the shit. This is the shit that, listen, I don't got nothing against you, fam. I don't know you. I don't care. But I'm just saying in general, though, when you say things like you don't know why everybody blames shit on you, you don't know why everybody's always mad at you, shit in that nature, here you go. This is why. This is why. You're seeing why. And this is foul, man. And you wonder why everybody got tension towards you. This is stuff like this. And it's wrong. Let's be real. And you saying, oh, the fans aren't asking for Loso and stuff like that. Are you crazy? You even sat there and said, you can see that Geechee Gotti's a star, but he got a long way to go. That's your way of saying he gonna have to keep doing PGs. Or he gonna have to keep doing events for free or for the low. Let's be real, man. Geechee Gotti right now, he is buzzing. Is buzzing. And he can give a lot of entertaining battles, and I do think he can beat a lot of the guys on the current roster from the up and coming guys. As far as the veteran guys, he can give a lot of them a run for the money, and he could definitely sell some tickets. He's a very unique guy with star quality. So don't tell me that he can't bring a draw in. He can't bring no money in or nothing like that. I'm pretty sure he can. But I'm pretty sure you'll hit him with the, now you gotta do it. Having dudes doing shit for free like that, man. I'm just saying, if you went to a Loso, a B, any of these guys, and they decide they'll do the battle for free, cool, that's one thing. But to say they got to do a PG under that umbrella and give a good look to one of your PG guys, come on, man, that ain't fair, man. Get them a plate, man. Give them a name. Even if it ain't a big name, give them a name and let them see what they got to do on the big stage. Stop with the bullshit, because you benefit from people paying at that door coming into the PG events. You benefit from the footage. I'm out of here. That's my opinion on all of this. I want to hear you guys' opinions on this. Make sure that you get in the comment box. Let me know what's up. Let me know how you feeling. Even if you completely disagree with me, I don't care. I just want to hear your opinions. Make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, please hit the alert button so you can get alerts every time. And my neighbor letting that little punk-ass, dirty-ass dog out right now. Shit is annoying. Anyway, salute to everybody. Salute battle rap. Celebrate battle rap. And don't forget, man, I need you to share and I need you to subscribe, all right? So salute. Enjoy the rest of your day.